And we are live. Welcome in everybody to the Win Daily NFL Draftcast. I am Tony Cotillo, joined by three special handsome, well, maybe 2 out of 3 handsome individuals, because I'm going to have to deal with New York and Atlanta on this show, but at least 2 guys are representing Philly. But as always, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, make sure you're sharing, you tell your friends. WinDailySports.com, half off. Go to the promo right now. Get your membership for NFL. This is where we build you not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Draftkings NFL DFS Main Slate lineups. This is where you get to cash on this show for free. And then we get to see who wins. Every week we have a winner out of us 4, but usually at least one out of 4 always cashes. But I'm going to head it right over to the man Jake's over here to introduce our, as always, weekly VIP guest. Who we got this week, Jay?
We got a special one. I don't know if you see him in the corner right now, but we got the one and only Howard Bender. He serves as the head of content over at Fantasy Alarm. He writes for the New York Post, FSGA and FSWA award-winning host of SiriusXM. He's on Better Network, a veteran, future Hall of Famer. But Howard, I appreciate you stopping by. My first question off to you is, where's the start of this whole fantasy game? Where did you get your start? What were you doing? Where did it all start, man?
Kind of interesting. I am a failed actor / stand-up comic. I was just very much into sports. I grew up, by the way, I'm only wearing the Matty Olson shirt because he helped me win money. Like, I'm not an Atlanta Braves fan by any means. I am a New Yorker. I grew up in New York City. I grew up in Manhattan. And so, I just want to make sure that we rep properly here. I went to college. I dropped out of pre-law. I jumped into theater. I was doing stand-up. And then somewhere around the 90s, obviously, bartending throughout New York and doing all that. And, a friend of mine, I played in this rotating poker game. And what we did was we just 9 guys. One dude says his dad wants to start up a new fantasy baseball league. His old one was dying, wanted to know if we were into it. We were like, yeah, sure, let's do it. I had played a little bit when I was younger. And so I ended up getting into it right there. The internet obviously blows it up. I'm reading stuff online. I'm winning my league. I'm winning my home league. And I'm like, man, I could probably kind of get into this. I know how to write. And so I just started writing, every day, just content after content. And just kind of, just kept sending my work into other, to different, every time you got a magazine, I was like, oh, who's the managing editor? And sent it in. And it has grown and snowballed from there into what has been a phenomenal 20+ year career in the fantasy sports industry.
So we share a lot of common, both New Yorkers. I was going to ask, I know your Twitter profile says Cali, but you're from New York. I'm from New York as well. I'm in New York right now. What teams do you pledge your allegiance to? I know, my team's a team that's making me money, so I respect the shirt, especially with fantasy these days. I don't get upset too much by teams unless it's a team that's going to cost me a first place victory on DraftKings or FanDuel or prop that doesn't hit. So which teams do you follow? Because I know out in LA, got a couple teams out there, but you stay true to your New York roots?
Oh, of course. I have to stay true to my New York roots. I mean, I moved out here, in 07. So I was already entrenched in New York sports. Yankees, Jets, Knicks, Rangers. Those are the big 4 right there. I will never waver from that. I hate Bay Area fans. Sorry if you're all out there watching, but you guys just the fandom out here is nothing like it is in New York. So you guys know, you're East Coasters. You all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we got to shut down these Phillies fans. They've looked good so far. I think they're pretty much in the World Series. We'll see who they got to face off with. But, Howard, we can at least shit on them a little bit because Kyle Wilson beat them. Kyle Wilson.
His name's Zach Wilson. Just
Zach Wilson, whatever his name is. He's terrible.
Kyle. He's cool.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. Sorry, it's a late night. Zach Wilson. I'm happy you know his name at least, Dave. How did the Jets actually beat the Eagles right now?
I mean, that was defense. That was the Eagles kind of just really. I don't know if they just were overlooking the Jets or whatnot, but I mean, it just seemed really weird. The Eagles need to go back to what they were doing. Like, apparently, you have to be able to win and establish that run early. And I don't think that's, they were struggling with the run. DeAndre Swift didn't look good, so they just kind of turned away from it. And we're trying to expose the fact that the Jets didn't have Sauce Gardner or DJ Hall in their secondary. Credit the Jets for, just the coverage packages that were working, much better for them throughout this game. And, listen, it's a very hard-nosed defense that the Eagles were playing. And they just, like I said, I think they just kind of underestimated what the Jets were bringing to the table. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Jets are playoff bound or anything like that. They dug out a nice gutsy win, just like in week 1, they dug out a nice gutsy win against Buffalo, but I don't see it like, it's unsustainable.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers comes back. He's on some miracle ACL surgery. He's already thrown
all the
after
crystals and the lavender and all that stuff. Obviously, it's working, right?
For real. So let's talk a little off topic here. I think this is a good question. I looked at your Twitter profile. I've heard you on Sirius a lot. If you had to give up one of these things, or 3 of these things, and only do one of these things for the rest of your life, play DFS, DraftKings, FanDuel, let's call it Prize Picks, whatever, sports bet, play season log, or listen to Fish and go to Fish concerts, which one, if you can only do one of those 4 things, would you keep and hold on to?
If I could only do one of those?
Only do one for the rest of your life. Season long, DFS, betting, or Fish concerts, and listening to Fish. Like, you couldn't listen to Fish ever again.
Well, I mean, why would I do anything as crazy as that? I would not give up going to Fish shows and, listen, this was like this is where I found my people. Like, that was the thing. Like, I was growing up and, in New York, I mean, right? Madison Square Garden, my first concert without my parents, Madison Square Garden, it was Van Halen, the Diver Down tour, right? They opened up with little guitars and then Eddie just went right into eruption. Like, I love music. And then all of a sudden, I went to like my first Dead show in 87 and at the Nassau Coliseum. And it just brought me into that jam band world. And like when I started touring with Fish in the 90s and just, like friends of mine, like going to shows on the regular, it's where I really found my people and I found my niche in this world. I mean, it happens that, there's massive crossover between the Fish and the fantasy sports communities.
Really?
Okay. Dude, 1999, I'm doing a fantasy football draft in an RV in Limestone. Oh, no, in Oswego, New York, at a Fish festival, because my whole crew was all into it and other people that we knew were into it. I run a league called the Jam On Fantasy Football League, it's like me, Steve Gardner from USA Today, Bob Wischusen from ESPN, Adam Zucker from CBS Sports. But then on the other side, there's like Chris Kuroda, the lighting designer for Fish, Ryan Stasek, the bassist from Humphreys McGee. I mean, like this league, and we've done this league now for, I think we're in our 8th or 9th year of doing this league. The winner receives his trophy on stage at set break of the show of his choice.
That's sick.
So, like, I can't give up my music. I will give up DFS. I will give up betting, and I will give up season-long fantasy because I'm assuming I could still at least watch football, right?
You can still watch football. Watching football, obviously, we can't give that up. Talking back to football now, we've seen some emails. You sent me some props. I was looking at some things on Monday night.
The Chargers.
Yeah, they're terrible, man. And I don't know what the situation is. Keenan is obviously Keenan Herbert. He missed some easy passes. I was on some CD, not Lamb props. I was on Gallup props. He got all these targets, wasn't catching anything. Have you locked anything in so far for this week, Thursday night game, Sunday? Any props or any game bets that you like so far?
Well, I mean, if I tell you that, am I not going to reveal who my draft picks are for this DFS draft that we're doing?
We can save those for later. If you want to save your props for later, I'll allow that. That's cool.
I mean, come on. What are you trying to do to me here, Jason? This is like the sucker move, isn't it? Oh, yeah, let me tell you, like, all these props I'm on, they're going over. And then next thing I know, you're plucking these guys away from me in this draft.
There you go. So we'll hold on to those. I like that strategy that you got right there. Looking ahead, the Jets most likely don't win the Super Bowl. Who do you got coming out, NFC, AFC, if you had to make a choice right now and lock it in?
Oh, gross. All right, San Francisco out of the NFC. That's the team I'm going to lock in there. And then out of the AFC, right? I know it's so bad. It's so grimy over there. But I mean, as much as I love the Chiefs, I tell you what, how about a second half surge from the Cincinnati Bengals? And like they just get hot and Burrow's healthy and Higgins is healthy and they make a couple of moves and kind of shore up that defense a little bit more. I'll go out to Cincinnati, no problem.
Okay, I like that. Most people take like the de facto Buffalo Bills, but I like you going out on a limb a little bit on the Bengals. Now, Howard, I know I'm not sure if you're the creator of it, but I know you're very involved in the pies at Fantasy Alarm. And I've been trying to convince Tony and Dave that whoever finished in last place, and it's been me a couple times, I don't know how many times, but I definitely would have gotten some form of punishment. I've been trying to instill a punishment in this Draftcast. I'm willing to do it as long as it's not super embarrassing. Pie to the face, that's okay. I don't want to do anything too crazy. But I do think the show needs some form of penalty. I'm willing to do it. I don't know. You can ask the other two if Dave and Tony, and I'm assuming you're down. What do you think would be a good penalty each week? And is everybody ready to let Howard just put it on us and we rock it for this show?
Yes.
I mean, listen. Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. Come on, Tony. Don't be a wuss.
Nah, man. Listen, you took the Niners, so already I lost respect. That's okay. So it's a maybe for me. I can't help you. It's a maybe.
What do you think of some good penalties? Because I think we need something to add that flair that we start every show out. And the person who lost last week has to do something, whether it's on social or before the show. It puts a little extra on it.
So I don't think there's anything shotgun a beer and then draft.
I might pass out.
As long as it's not Keystone.
What about Busch Light? Where do you stand on Busch Light?
I'm slightly better than Keystone.
Slightly better. So all right. So I started the pie bet actually a couple of years ago. This was all pre-COVID. What we did was the four of us on the show, we each took a wide receiver for DFS, and whoever's wide receiver scored the lowest had to take a pie to the face and post it on social media. And then we got like all the fans involved there. Like you couldn't take one of our wide receivers that we took. You had to take somebody else. If you beat at least one of us, then you were fine. You were in the clear. But if you lost to all four of us, you'd have to take a pie in the face and post it on social media. This thing blew up. It was absolutely phenomenal. We turned it into a whole charity thing where like Fantasy Alarm, was like $10. We contributed $10 per pie to the face. And this ran this through the entire season. It was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The Children's Fund in Southern California, they got an amazing little
Tony, a good cause too. We have a good cause behind the punishment. I'm down to throw some donations out there too. So at any time in the show, if somebody thinks of a value, punishment, I'm all for it, man. I really think it would add a little bit of extra fun to the show.
See, the thing about the pie to the face, guys, is that it's not for you guys. It's not about you. Like I'll send you guys all videos and stuff like that where you can find the pie bet stuff. It's the giggling from all the wives and the children who are like doing the pieing. Like my wife loves it. She wants to do it every single year. She's like, this is the best thing ever. Right? My buddy Wayne, my landlord, like he pied me one day. He was like, I'll do this every week for you. They love doing it. And if you have families, then your families love doing it to you. It just makes it a lot more fun.
No, I agree, man. So I'm ready to lock it in if we go with the pie. I don't want to steal the pie from you and the alarm crew, but we should really think about something. That's pretty much it, man. How you looking forward to this slate? Are you it's a lot of low over-unders in the slate. You don't have to, share anything yet. I'm not trying to dive too in, but I kind of like these condensed slates, the bye weeks, because it's a little bit of tighter player pool. So I'm looking forward to it. Dave, you ready to tell us who won last week. Tell us the draft order, kind of break down the rules for everybody.
I am. Hey, we got last week was a good week, but last week's over. It was all Miami. Miami did it again, and our guest last week took it down. So Howard has something to live up to right now. He's got to follow Ian, who was able to pull out a win last week because the Tua Mostert Tyreek Hill combo was just bad enough. He was terrible everywhere else. But given
So
that,
had all three of those guys? Oh,
yeah,
man.
he had all three. Logan Thomas, no. Josh Allen's, no. But he had those three, and good enough to hold us off. Jason and I battled for second there. Kyron Williams, good pick from you. Adam Thielen as well. Had some pretty solid plays with Kamara, Michael Pittman, and Kupp. But all right, Howard, here's the rule. Guest won last week. You get to choose where you draft this week. Snake draft 1 through 4 is wide open.
Snake draft 1 through 4. Okay, are we only playing the main slate, or are we? Yes. Okay, so it's just the 10-game main slate, which I love. I love that. All right, you know what? I'll just take that first pick because I'm cool like that.
I love the cool like that. All right, Jason, you were second. You squeaked it out over me, so you get to pick where you want to go now between 2 through 4.
I'll go second. I think there's some short action here. I want to get that top pick, so I'll go 2.
All right, I'll just make it easy. I'll go 3, and we'll have Tony go 4. All right, beautiful. Let me bring up the draft board. So Howard, you're going to lead us off, rock and roll, and then we're just going to have some fun talking about each person's picks, and then seeing what kind of wager we can come up with here. But all right, Tony, you got the bell?
Oh,
off we go.
All right. Well, damn. All right. I'm in this. I'm looking for main slate stuff. You know what, man? I'm just gonna make it real easy on myself here, and I'm just gonna go with a nice little chalky Patrick Mahomes going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. That kind of seems like a little bit of a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, quarterback is super tight on this slate, so kind of agree with that pick. I was going to go there if you did not choose him, so strong pick there. I like it a lot. I'm going to go with my number 2 quarterback on the board, and a little bit worried here, to be honest with you, but let me go with Lamar Jackson at 7,600, slight discount. Hopefully he runs one in.
All right, guys. Well, some of the guys know how I like to draft and how I don't like to draft. JD checking in saying I'm going with Zach Ertz early because he knows my love for his one yak is it's real powerful with me. So I'm not going to go Zach Ertz number 1, but nice try. I'm actually going to roll the dice early here. I'm going to go Zach Evans, try and get some value out of the way. I have no idea, for the record, what McVay is going to do. But the chance to get a running back against that defense, Pittsburgh's not very good against the run for 4K. I'll roll those dice. All right, Tone.
Interesting. I honestly hate this slate, by the way, but I think it blows, but that's okay. It is what it is. I got back to back now, right, Dave?
Yes, you do.
All right, so you know what? I'm just gonna make it easy. Just give me Jay's boy. Give me Isaiah Pacheco. I know he loves him. He probably is going to try to come back and get him anyway.
He was in my lineup.
Oh, I'm shocked. Usually he would say it wasn't on my list.
Nah, he's up there. He's on the cheat sheet too. So
okay, and I'm gonna listen. It's very high. I don't care. Give it to me, man. I'm gonna take Cooper Kupp. Show me. I know 9,500 is a huge number, but I got a lot of values on my lineup, so I think I can handle it.
I like it. I'm pissed. I'm already not getting any Chiefs action. They light up the Chargers. We already know what the combo is over there, but I can't go there yet. And Yvonne, good point. Yes, Evans was good at Ole Miss. I loved him there. Got a nice little back there still. So I'm hoping, McVay does the right thing. That's what scares me. Everybody thought Cam Akers was the guy at the beginning of the year, and then he's like, no. I'm going to fuck all your drafts up and roll out this guy, Kyron Williams. So, yeah, that's how much confidence I have in the Rams. But, all right, I think I built a lineup like you guys. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm going Kelsey. I wasn't gonna do it, but I have to.
What you doing me like that for? Come on.
It might have been the San Fran. I heard. I don't know. I forget.
See, Dave knows.
I forget. Jeez. All right, over you.
My running back combo was gonna be Pachenko and Kenneth Walker. So Walker is still there. I'll go Walker. Guy's a bell cow. He's getting the role. He's getting tons of touches inside the red zone. He's there. Good matchup against Arizona. They're terrible on both sides of the ball. So hopefully they're carrying a nice lead. Kenneth Walker gets in the end zone 1 or 2 times and finds a way over 100 yards. Would be nice. Little bonus.
Good pick. And it goes over to Howard. I'm sorry. I apologize now. What can you do?
What can I do? I'll tell you what I can do. I'm going to get my value here right now and pair him up with Patrick Mahomes for $4,700. Give me Rashee Rice.
I like that.
That dude's getting into the end zone. That dude's getting in.
No, he's not Rutgers. I'm sorry.
Rutgers.
Oh, that was Pacheco. Pacheco's Rutgers.
Yeah.
And for my next pick, well, since Kenneth Walker was shamelessly stolen from me, and that hurts my feelings tremendously, I got to make sure I got one running back who I'm big on this week. I mean, come on. A nutless monkey could run against Denver and feel good about it. Coming back from the hamstring injury, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Aaron Jones.
If he plays, he can have a monster week, man. He's set up really, really nicely. Like that call as well. Running back on this, 10-game slate, super tight right now. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs before he's off the board. Chicago defense, similar to Denver, similar to Arizona. Not so good, I think. They're going to try to pepper him with targets. So we don't know, or we assume Jimmy G is going to be out here. So give me Jacobs, 7,400.
All right. I see you've left yourself with about 3,000 per player left. So let me sit here and try and
do your math. Do your math.
I'm just messing around. All right. I gotta get serious here because you guys have already focused on some defenses that are real bad. So I'm gonna do mine as well. I'll go Geno Smith as my quarterback. He's Patrick Mahomes light this week, but I'll take him against those.
Yeah, I said that last week.
I did too.
Yeah,
didn't work out.
They had 4 chances inside the 10, but bounces back this week against my old defensive coordinator and Jonathan Gannon.
My takeaway from last week was that now I understand why Geno Smith got punched in the face by a teammate.
Yes. It was all. It was my bet of the week too.
I like it, Dave. Do you got fire in your gut?
I do.
That was the worst thing I've ever heard. I can't believe it. But all right, Dave. Sorry, bro. But I know maybe you were going here. I don't know. But I'm gonna go double wide again. Give me MPJ. And give me DK Metcalf.
Yeah, that's good moves. All right. If I can spell
steady, man. Just steady.
All right, we'll get that fixed and say, all right, good picks. All right, now you got me, so everybody wants to have some fun today. I will lay off that game. I built a lineup. I have one player from it so far. This is great. All right, I'm gonna pay up somewhere. Where am I gonna do that? I know I paid up a little bit for Kelsey. I'll go. Actually, Jason has to go here, so I'll go cheap. I'll go Wan'Dale Robinson. I know 3,800 number 1 receiver on the Giants. I'll take a shot.
Yeah, I like that call. Pretty good matchup. Nice price, 3,800. I'll go a little bit higher than that at the wide receiver spot. Palmer is the number 2 in his offense. I do want some shares of this game. A lot of the over-unders are under 40. This is the big game. So Josh Palmer, price hasn't creeped up enough because he hasn't been in the end zone. We're getting 60, 70 yards a game on DraftKings gets you 10 to 15 points. At 4,800, I think is a nice little safe landing spot where you don't have to take too much risk. So lock in Josh Palmer.
All right.
Okay. All right. I see where you're going here. I see what's happening. Okay.
We need some fish music in the background or something.
It's all going on in my head right now. Usually it's da, 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 but right now I'm kind of grooving on a fish tune. For my back-to-back picks here, give me the man DK Metcalf against Arizona. I think that's going to be nice. What's that? He's off the board?
Yeah, Tony got DK,
man. I took
right?
him, man.
Oh, shitballs. Damn, I'm that guy? I'm that guy who's taking the play already off the board? I am a piece of crap right now. All right.
Pie to the face.
Pie to the face. Give me Marquise Hollywood Brown at 5,300. Por favor. He's still there, isn't he?
Yes, you're good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. And you know what? I'm gonna get a little weird here right now. I'm gonna go back to the running back position and take a very No, I'm changing my mind. Tight end Logan Thomas, 3,500. Put him in there. Going up against the Giants. I don't care that he only got one target last week. He's gonna be a monster. Give him to me.
I like it.
I'm gonna stack up that Lamar Jackson share with Zay Flowers. Kid's been electric since he's come in. They're using him on, some run plays in the red zone. He's scoring a couple of touchdowns, or he scored one touchdown last week. So I think at 5,700 is probably the last time his price is this cheap. He's probably going to be closer to 6,500 moving forward if he has a good game. Detroit does worry me a little bit. I think this defense is better than people have given him credit, but they go on the road to Baltimore, so hopefully Lamar can get some touches and targets to Zay Flowers and have a nice little combo at 5,700.
He definitely impresses me. He's really good. So good pick. I'm going to go, like you guys said earlier, try and get a little run back in that Chiefs-Chargers game. I'll go Keenan Allen for myself since everyone took all the good receivers. Over to you, Tone.
I'm just going to do it, man. I'm going to take my quarterback and I'm going to take my flex spot right here, my combo. So unsuspected. That's okay. I like to live large. That's why they call me Jigsaw. So give me Desmond Ridder and give me Drake London.
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
I know, right?
It's okay. It's all good, baby.
No,
he cashed a big prop for me last week. I had him over 275 alternate market plus 750 on Ridder. So I can't hate on the guy. So Tone, hopefully rides out.
Listen, man, when your coach lets you throw the ball 84 times in 2 weeks, means they have a little confidence in you. That's all I'm saying.
It's a good price tag, man. It's a good combo. 10-3 for a good.
I know
stack.
it's road, and Tampa Bay is a really good underrated defense. I understand it. No, all love for Todd Bowles, but at the end of the day, man, I'm just looking at points, and for 5,200, he gives me 20. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right, until he gets pulled for Heineke, no problem.
Oh, Taylor Heineke.
Dude, that guy doesn't die.
Good for him, man.
Yeah. All right, I'll get a little weird too. This guy actually showed up last week after the bye. I think they're going to try and get him the ball even more this week. We got some question marks with Tyler Lockett. Give me Jackson Smith in Jigba.
JSN.
Who actually showed up a little bit last week with 4 catches.
Finally.
Yeah, I think the bye week helped.
I'm going to follow Howard here. I do think Green Bay is in a good spot here. Christian Watson, I got a lot of shares of him in season long. 5,600, the guy's electric. Love can just find him. My only worry is they're probably going to feed Aaron Jones a bunch. But if they have to play from behind for any reason, they're going to need Christian Watson to step up as well. So this should be one of the sneakier, higher scoring games with everything being so low. So give me Watson at 5,600.
All right.
I'm so torn as to what to do here. I like the Christian Watson call there. I definitely do. Oh crap. I know, right? All right. I'm gonna go running back here. Give me Jerome Ford. Going to get up against the Colts. Colts giving up a substantial amount of rushing yards, but they've given up 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. 9. So I'm in on that. I'm going to dance around a little bit more, and I think I'm just going to, I'm just gonna take my defense right now and just do it that way. And I'm gonna take those Bucks against your Desmond Ritter, Drake London disgustingness there. Give me the Bucks at 36.
I love it. I love it. Bring it on, baby.
All right. Got a little challenge. Always love that here at the Draftkings. All right, Jay, you're up.
I wasn't going to go this direction, but why not? Let me go Mark Andrews. They're going to need him. I think Detroit's going to score on Baltimore a little bit more than expected. Andrews hasn't had that big game yet. He had a decent game in week 4 against Cleveland, but it should be a good matchup for him. Jared Goff is playing great football. The Lions are playing great. The defense worries me a bit, but I haven't taken down one of these draft guys yet. I keep finishing the second, so let me go all in on Lamar, double stack with Zay and Mark Andrews, and hope this game kind of shoots out.
All right. Oof. I'm trying to figure a way to fit this guy in. I think I can do it. Again, trying to get involved in one of these high-scoring affairs. I'll go Austin Eckler as well. Someone's got to do it. And so there's always concern. Chiefs D is actually surprisingly good this year. I just don't know. One of these teams got to score on them. And I think this week could be a shootout. So I'll take 2 Chargers and the Chiefs and go dumpster diving for the next 2.
Dumpster diving. I like it. Dave, for this one, I'm going to go up against your boy here. I know you're a Zach or a Yak Ertz kind of guy, but give me Trey McBride. Very, very, very easily 2,600, real good tight end. Already talked about getting more snaps now than Zach Ertz. And in that game environment, I like it. And on top of that, I'm going to go with Jaylen Warren. Give me Warren as my next running back. Listen, Najee Harris is done. We all know that. It's been a timeshare. I've been on Jaylen Warren since the preseason, and he just gets it done. He doesn't even have to score, and he gets you 9-10 points every week. This is the week he scores, it gets double digits. So give me Jaylen Warren.
Good pick. All right. I do expect one of those weeks he's just going to break the slate. It's coming. If they give him enough reps. All right, I'm going to go cheap D here, but they've been putting up solid points all year. Yes, they play the Lions, but it's in home, it's outdoors. It's a place where there's a little rain coming on Saturday, so I don't know what it's going to be like Sunday. Give me the Ravens at 2,500. They've been solid all year on D.
Okay, that works. I don't know where I'm going here. Just going to go 2 different angles. Give me. Let me stay with my first play. Let me get Gerald Everett, go double tight end here. Getting shares of the Charger game in KC. And I'm not in love with it. I was going to go a different direction, but let me force it in and get Gerald Everett.
All right. And we're to you, Howard, to finish out your lineup.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's go with Stephon Diggs. Why not? I mean, he seems to be a pretty good wide receiver, and the Patriots seem to suck.
It seems? Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, which leaves me 3,800. So let's go with Mr. GPP himself from the Detroit Lions. Let's go Jameson Williams.
All
right. Give me 5 snaps, 1 route run, 1 target, 1 catch for 72 yards and a touchdown.
There you go, man. I like that call, actually. This doesn't really correlate well, but it works. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think, they play tough. I have 2, Chargers in my lineup, but if they can shut down Eckler to some kind of containment, figure out a way to contain Keenan Allen, maybe Herbert makes a couple mistakes here, and I can still kind of play it out with my I wouldn't do this in a GPP, but just to beat you 3 guys, I think it's enough for the Chiefs. A couple of sacks on Herbert.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap up my team with one of those little fantasy darlings, and he still produced last week, even in a blowout. And I don't worry that he's got Minshew mania at quarterback. I think he'll still find ways to be number 2 there. Correlates pretty well off Pittman. Give me Josh Downs, guy that's just been really steady and consistent this year. So 4,600. I love the Rashee Rice right in that range. Josh Palmer, but Downs is there. I'll take him.
Last one for Tony, man. Let's see what you got.
This is easy, man. It's easy. I'm as you have, even though I'm not an Arthur Smith kind of guy, because I think he looks like a schmo, but I'm gonna go all in on Atlanta. So give me Atlanta's defense against my boy, or Jay's boy, Baker Mayfield, and I'll close me out.
All right. So we got a clean slate here. Lots of good kind of correlations and game matchups. Tony's going a little different and focused in that Falcons-Tampa game, but could pay off, as you know, in DFS. You got to get weird, as Howard said earlier. A lot of us played some different angles. But Howard, let me ask you, a player's not drafted or someone, was there anybody on your board that didn't get drafted?
I'm just kind of looking at, and maybe it's, it's probably a better play on a site that doesn't have, full point PPR. But Craig Reynolds, I think, is just going to get mad short yardage targets over there for Detroit. I mean, he's definitely a guy who I've just kind of been eyeballing, and I definitely, I think that when you're talking about if you're paying down at a position, what are you looking for? You're looking for that touchdown upside, and I feel like Reynolds is just. He's that guy. Dan Campbell said it the other day, right? He was like, you get your guy who's 20 to 25 carries, and then the other guy is just your complement. And he was talking about Monty and Gibbs there, but I think Reynolds kind of slides into that, sort of a Monty role this week.
I love it. And now, one more question for you, just because I thought it was interesting, because I had Kareem Hunt on my radar at 5,000. And you went Jerome Ford. And I like Hunt's got that thigh injury, I think, going right now. But if you find out by game time that he's suited up, which one do you favor, Ford or Hunt?
I still like Jerome Ford. I think he's a more complete back. And I said this to people when Nick Chubb got hurt. And I said, yeah, pick up Jerome Ford. But be very careful, because his next 3 weeks, the matchups are garbage, right? It was like San Francisco and Baltimore. And then and I don't remember who was, there was a third team in there that was just like, and I said, that's not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is like week 7 and beyond, when you need those wins. And he's got like the Colts, who have a soft run defense, and he's got a decent matchup. I said, you're going to be scared by Kareem Hunt, no doubt. And he got into the end zone the other day. But there's a reason that Kareem Hunt wasn't brought back, and it wasn't like a salary cap thing. There are a lot of people in that front office of Cleveland and on the coaching staff that believe that he lost more than just a step. And they brought him back here now because it was necessity, because he knows the scheme and he knows how to run this offense. But I think they would prefer to have Jerome Ford in there. We've seen him catch passes, so I think he's a very highly underrated player.
I love it. A really good angle and a way to look at it. And you're saying for the longer term, Jerome Ford is the better player. And that's great insight. Jay, looking at your team, one thing that popped out at me, I said, wow, you went 3 Ravens, no run back. Now, in a standard lineup, would you try and get a run back in this Detroit-Baltimore game?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if I'm going with this kind of stack, I want shootout. I want this game to be the highest on the board. Probably sided Amon-Ra. Almost slid him into one of my main lineups last week, but I went A.J. Brown instead. It ended up being okay, but Amon-Ra was slightly better. He's legit, man. He still doesn't get the credit he deserves. He was out for, a game, still has 455 yards on the season. He's the number 1 target. He's the number 2 target in his offense. So I like that move. Baltimore, they got to push the pedal a little bit. They're getting these tight games. Hopefully they open it up. Hopefully Lamar runs a little bit. I was looking at different combinations, but then when I saw Andrews there in a safe way at 5,700, I just thought he made sense. And I already had Zay Flowers. Just pricing, the way things worked out. You guys drafted well too, so a lot of players that I liked were off the board already. So I just thought Andrews safe, Zay Flowers pretty safe, and then I did like the Charger game. It's going to be pretty obvious. That's going to be one of the best games on the board. I'm a little bit worried about Herbert. What happened? He missed Keenan Allen wide open. Like that was just blatantly easy throw. He makes the toughest throws. He's a tough guy. He's playing hurt. He's playing without a coach. But, I think Everett and Palmer can get value too. So I think that game is a game that everybody's going to be targeting. So you got to get some shares if you can.
I like it. So, Tone, one thing that popped out with me, I like the Ritter play. I do. I was just kidding, but I just don't like him as a player. But for DFS, I think he is definitely in play this week coming off last. But there's a lot of like quarterbacks in that 5K range to 5,200. Was there anybody else that you said, hey, if I don't get Ritter, if someone goes there, was there anyone else in that range that you thought could be another good DFS play?
Yeah, listen, I when I looked at this, the first thing I looked at was I didn't want to pay for Patrick Mahomes. And I was scared about Justin Herbert. I'm not a Lamar Jackson guy. So, I kind of dropped down and I started with Stafford. But then I'm like, I went back and forth. You just never know. And then I was like, let me drop down to Jordan Love. But then with Jordan Love, listen, if he was playing in Green Bay, I would have took Jordan Love at 5,800. But he's playing in Denver, and I know everybody says Denver stinks, and I get it what the numbers are, the mile high air, the away. I'm just not sold on Jordan Love. So for me, it was three guys. It was Howell, it was Wilson, and it was Ritter. They were the three guys I was looking at. And I honestly, just by volume alone, is the reason why I went with Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, I think that little snapshot, just for everyone out there, I do like Mahomes, Jackson for the record, but if I can't fit it in, I'm dropping all the way down to this Geno Smith and lower range. I just feel like that's where to go this week. The reason I love Mahomes, and I think Howard can agree, just his career stats against the Chargers are amazing. And he throws to Kelsey 18 times a game against the Chargers, and somehow they don't know how to stop it. It's just mind-boggling. But with that, Howard, why don't you give us a little? I know we talked about it earlier, kind of, all the good stuff you do, but why don't you give our listeners just another snapshot of where they can find you at and all the good stuff that you're writing for and on the air. Obviously, Sirius is a big spot. We also listen to you.
So SiriusXM Monday through Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, channel 87. It's me and Jim Bowden. Well, Jim's on assignment with MLB right now, so it's a mix of me and some Fantasy Alarm people, for the next couple of weeks there. I'm also, you can find me on Alarm Fantasy Football, and I'm all over the Fantasy Alarm YouTube page. So pop over there, hit that like and subscribe button for me on that one. It's how I feed my family. I write for the New York Post twice a week. You can find my articles on Tuesdays and on Saturdays over there. And I think at that point you've probably just had enough of me. So I'll leave it at that. FantasyAlarm.com, baby. Come on, get some.
Love it, man. Love it. Real fast, Howard. How many years you been doing this?
Oh my God, over 20 years. I think I started writing on my own on blogspot.com back in like 99 or 2000, something like that. So yeah, that's when it all began.
I love it, man. Howard's an OG, man. Standing test of time. I say it all the time. So for all you people that want to get in the industry and just get started and see, man, it's a grind. We all know it's a grind. You see some of the good sides when you get to talk to people that have been doing it for so long and are so talented. And again, this is Win Daily Sports. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to the show. Make sure you're following us at Win Daily Sports on all social formats. It's the NFL Draftcast, man. We're going to be back here live again next week doing the same exact thing, picking lineups. You have 4 lineups out. I know not everybody's going to choose my Desmond Ritter lineup, but that's okay. We got 4 lineups to see who comes in first place next week. So it'll be a chore. It really will be. Make sure you're locked in Friday night to watch the college show, the college DFS show with Dave and Joel. You got Sirius on Saturday nights from 6 to 8, and then you got the live pre-lock show every Sunday at 11 a.m. with Sticks and Ghosts. But for Tony, for Howard, for Jason, for Dave, everybody, WinDailySports.com. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you back here next week.